All right, hello. So this is going to be a video that is going to show you four different um pools or bases or whatever starting points, four different starting points. So if you're like me and you don't want to start with 220 numbers boxed and you want to start with a smaller pool, it's very doable to do that, and I'm going to do that right now. So I'm going to show you four or so. I'm going to try to keep it pretty quick here. I always say that, but I'm going to try. I missed today's Minnesota. I knew there was going to be 12 yesterday. Unfortunately, I actually played the number that was today yesterday a couple like five times. So it's a hard loss. I had 607. I really thought that 7 would come, and I also thought that a 0, or I think I thought the 7 was going to come. Maybe not. I can't remember. I get lost in between Wisconsin and Minnesota, but I know it's 0. I was thinking possibly. So unfortunately, I missed it, but here's what it is. Four different pools. I'm gonna do about 3 or 4 different pools. So I'm gonna show you. So the first pool would be the VTrax pool. You'll see here it's been out 3. It's pretty consistent. You go all the way back to October. It's about 3 to 5 or so. It'll stay out, and then it will come back. Sometimes it'll be out a little longer, but not too long. And actually, the A-Trax will tend to even hit more often. So, same with that one. If that one's been out for a while, you might want to jump on board with that one. And remember, if you go over to the pattern, information page, you can see down here, these are the top 10 V-Trax. These are the top 10 A-Trax. There's 80 in each one of these, but I'm not going to start with all 80. You could. I mean, it's still that alone is a pool better than 220, right? But this is the cool part. Like I've been showing, and it works. It really, really works. I mean, for example, let me just show you in pick 4 tonight. This was pick 4 right here. Okay. This was the numbers that I had for pick 4. I thought that would come from one of these numbers. These are the V-Trax. I thought it would come from one of these V-Trax. And the number is right there. That's 404. And that's straight. But, I obviously thought it was going to be boxed. So in hindsight, I would have played that box anyway. But this works. This V-Trax here, I wasn't sure about a certain top 10, or not top 10 for V-Trax is a little different in pick 4, but I wasn't sure. But I did think that a 0 would turn to a 1 like I've shown, and sure enough, it did. And if it didn't, then tomorrow would be a really good chance for it. So this works. It works like clockwork. It's written in stone. Like legitimately, it is written in stone. These will turn. They will flip. It's not like something stopping it from flipping. Sometimes they'll go out a little bit longer, but they will not stay out long periods of time. You're not going to see. I mean, let's go back over to the pick 3. You're not going to see, like these top 10 like these V-Trax. You're not going to see these go out for weeks and weeks. I mean, it potentially could, but I mean, like I've shown you, you can look at the chart here. Here's the A-Trax. Look at it. It just, I mean, it's no different when you go back years. It's just the same thing. It can stay out longer, but 3 to 5, maybe a little longer, sometimes definitely longer, but not that long. So one of those is gonna come back. Now look at the V-Trax, same thing. Doesn't hit as much as the A-Trax in Minnesota at least, but it's gonna come back. It's gonna come back soon. Now you can play that pool. That alone is a pool. You could play all 80 of those V-Trax. Those are the top 10. Remember, there are V-Trax that hold single numbers that are not a part of these. Remember that. For instance, 507, 057 box is not a part of one of these top 10. Unfortunately, it's frustrating because that is actually, I think I thought that today. I got kind of like, I seen it when I was filtering stuff, but I didn't. I have to rewatch that video in Minnesota I made. But so then you go over to the, oh no, this is jacked up because my internet shut off. So V-Trax single boxed, remember, because you can go to V-Trax boxed, but there's a lot of V-Trax. See, these are boxed. It's going to hold a lot more singles and all that, but it's harder to find a pattern. So I'm going to do VTrax singles boxed. And then 20 days, 10 to 30 days is a good spot. 10, 20, 14 days, stuff like that. But this 20-day mark for a one draw state seems to be pretty good. You'll notice that it's been out 3, like I showed on my charts. Okay. And yeah. So let's see. Yep. I mean, oops, I'm sorry, wrong one. So yeah, I would expect that to be hitting pretty soon. So that could be a potential pool. So what you can do is you can just go over to the options. You can collect these right here, the yellow ones, and bring it over to your slash and put it in. Or you can just do the option thing like I do. Just do the reduced numbers and drop it in there. There's 8 in each one. The reduced numbers doesn't take out any numbers on this. And drop it in. That's 48 numbers to start with. So this here is a nice pool to start with. Now, what are the odds? What are the odds that one of those is going to hit tomorrow? It's pretty good, but, it might not. But if it doesn't, that's when you have to stick with a pool. Then you're going to play out of that pool until there's a hit or a win. So you'll notice that 345 and 235 are in there. Those are solid VTrax. Okay. And like I've shown, you can go to the reduced numbers to see what is in those VTrax. These are the numbers right here boxed. And these ones don't typically stay out that long. Okay, you can drop this down to descending if you want to. And you can go to most recent draw by option and, go out a little bit here. Let's go to 3 years. So that's 345 and there's 235. See? Go out to 4 years. Well, that wouldn't probably change much. Let's go all the way up to 8. 234. That dropped down there, didn't it? 345 and 235 is actually the lowest one. But I mean, they're gonna balance out. Everything balances out when you get out there in years. Regardless, doesn't matter because they're all pretty close and they all hit. They continually hit. So my best advice is to just do no sort for these anyway. When it comes to my charts, certain ones are going to hit a lot more than others, and that is more. You can apply that easier. So let's see. What did I do? 20 days. Yeah, so you copy those. Like I said, that's a pool. That's pool number 1. That's a good pool to start with, doing the VTrax. All right, I'm going to get off that for now, and then I'm going to do another one here. Let's do another one over here. Now, this one here I'm going to do again, add all numbers boxed. And before I do that pool, remember, this pool is based off of whether you use the 80 or you subtract some. This is before you do any keys, any pairs boxed, any sums, or whatever style it is you like to play. This is before any of that. Okay. I mean, look, you can reduce the 0 to 3 key and you're going to reduce that many right there. That takes off of another 10 or so. So, I mean, and then if a certain key is due or something, if general keys are shown like super, let's pretend 1 is out for 17 draws and you're like, it's worth, going for that 1. Well, I mean, look, look, if you think that's going to happen, how many do you have? 16 to start with, and if you win, you win. If you lose, you're not going to lose too much. And I'm not even saying play all these, because you can go and look at, the high-low patterns, the even-odd patterns, and in and out patterns, the spike patterns, and try to find something that's been repeating lately, and maybe it'll remove 2, maybe it will remove 1. Just little micro things like that can do a lot when you're in box, man. That can really help. So that is pool number 1, VTrax, in different variations of it, or A-Trax. Like I said, you can do the A-Trax too. You can do the neighbors or V0 too, but I like the A-Trax and the VTrax. So pool number 2. Pool number 2 is going to go now I'm going to say this is actually, I'm going to save this one because it's one of my favorite ones, but I'm just going to do this one. Okay, we're going to be looking at my charts, and we're going to look at the SG box, or the SBP, we call it. Okay, looking at just this one right here. Now you can do this for any of these things, but this one right here. Okay, now you can look at it and say, oh, I think, purple is going to hit, right? But see, purple can go out, like right there. Look at the purple, went out for a long time. When I first started this, I thought, oh, purple doesn't go out for more than 4 or 5. That's not true. They all can drop off the map for a while, even though it looks like they hit. They can drop off the map. I don't know why this mic just got high, super high. I gotta try to figure it out. I might get a different one. So this is actually a way you can. I'm sorry, I'm kind of sidetracked here. Okay, so instead of just picking a color, okay, which is only 40 numbers. Okay, you can go to the chart here. Here's the SBP. You can just go down here, play by color. I mean, that alone is a pool, I guess, but that's not the pool I want to talk about. Okay, you can pick based on, go over to here, go over to the frequency chart, and then you're going to drop this down to the SBP right here. And now you're going to go to, say, 10 days. This is a one draw state, so probably definitely going to have to adjust that a little bit. Let's do 20, or you can do draws too. But see, at 20 days, one dominates. Like, obviously, there's probably going to be another 2 coming up here. Okay, so I would say, pick from the zeros. These are the zeros, right? And then you can, but here's where it gets awesome. Instead of just being like, okay, I'll play these, one of these is going to hit, that'll be my pool, which is still really good to do, because like I've been showing, if you go to expectation and you find out between the 30 and 80 draw form, and you find out what's red, and then you compare it to what it is yellow in the 10 to 20 day mark, you can actually, that's a good thing to do, because if there's some of those red ones in the yellow, those ones are probably going to be the ones that are going to be dropping soon. You see what I'm saying? So you play the hot in the expectation charts at that 30 to 80 draw, pretty much roughly the 50 to 80 draw. The reds, which would be typically 3 to 5 of them, you come back over to the 10 to 20 days and you look for those among these yellows. And if you find 1 or 2 of them in there, I'd go with those ones, because they're going to hit. Okay, especially if they're heavy hitters. You can find out what your state likes. So that's awesome. But check out this. I figured something out, and I'm telling you, I'm super excited about this. So looking at the SBP, you can do this. Here, let's go to 30 days, since it's a one draw state. I mean, even at 30 days, there's going to be another one drop in here soon. And there's only 5 numbers in each one of these. Okay. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45 numbers to start with before you do any filtering. That's pretty awesome. And these actually do include keys 4 and 5 and on. So no doubles though. Okay, you can just, like I said, go to reduced and you can see what those numbers consist of. So one of these probably won't last long. It'll be hitting again here soon in Minnesota. Now, in order to find it though, here's what's cool. Let's be a little bit more conservative. Let's go to 20 days, since it's a one draw state. We're going to look at these yellow numbers right here. We're going to look at these yellow patterns, okay? So I'm still on the second pool, I guess, technically, because I'm looking at the SBP. I'm just going to say that is a pool, because you can pick from this, and this is what, like I said, picking from the red. So that's the second pool. The third pool is like a mix of this. I will say it's a mix, but at the same time, I want to show you something. So go to the SBP RS root sum. Okay. not the SBPP. That's the pairs. Just go to the SBPRS numbers, and then you're going to do, you can't do this 20-day stuff because there's only 4 options and they hit back. They constantly keep hitting. So let's go to most recent draw option. And you'll see me in 20 days, there's no yellows at all, right? Go to a week, you got a yellow. And here's the thing. Look what's yellow right now. See that? It's high odd. Remember, this root system is based on the actual numbers of the patterns. It's not based on the draw. Okay? So high even is not based on this number. It's based on the actual pattern number that was drawn. So this is, and you can find that by going over to my charts, but go over to this chart here. You're going to see high even was drawn. See this? And it was 507, high even, right? But check this out. High odd has not hit since, like I showed you on the other video, since the 23rd. See that? Well, high odd is the top one, pretty much across state lines. Well, it's also because there's more of them. I have it in here. You'll see I have, where is it? Right here, a high odd. So here's the high odd root sums. 5, 7, 9. These aren't the root sums. These are the actual pattern numbers that are associated with that. So 5, 7, 9, 14, 16, 18, 23. These do not stay out long. One of these will hit very often. Okay? Very often. I just extracted that from here because that's the top one. Because see, there's more of them. So it's obvious that's going to be the case. Okay? But at the same time, let's see here. What am I doing? Okay. Go back over here. I'm going to show you something pretty cool with that information. See, that's a pool in itself right there. So that could be the third pool, right? You got VTRAX and you got the SBP, and then you have this one here, just extracting one of these. You could, like I said, you could take one that's yellow right here. I mean, let me jump over to like a different state. Let's go to another one draw state. High odd is out. Look at that. Kansas would be another good one. Florida's hit 2 times. You see that low odd is hitting too. Go to Colorado. Let's see, high odd hit 4 times. I mean, you're pretty much going to get across state lines and see what you can do. Only one time in there. So what you can do is go to this awesome filter. It's 1 to 10% chart filter. You can do, like right now, the only one under a 1% threshold is Arkansas, right? Yeah. And that is the high odd. And you'll notice there's only 35 boxed high odds. How cool is that? This reduced is it's taking out the repeats. So if it says 027, 207, 702, it'll take out the repeats and bring it back and bring it down. Okay. It's fine when it's boxed, but if it's straight, that's a bad deal. You gotta be careful with that. Then you might want to not do that. So here's the deal. That's only 35 numbers. That's gonna hit. That will hit. The Georgia one, I just put a thing on Facebook about that. The Georgia one was last night. The Georgia one is now gone. And then you can jump this up to 2% all the way up to 10. But here, just go to 2%. And you'll throw in Delaware. Okay. Like these aren't going to last long for sure. So if you think that's going to hit, that's 35 numbers to start with. Go ahead and get rid of, say, these keys. I mean, what are you down to? 20 some numbers. And that's a pool you can fish from. And you think a key is going to hit, or you got the low down on the high, low, that even odd pattern, you got it. And if you don't get a hit, well, you probably didn't lose much because you had a small pool to begin with. And like I've shown, I mean, look, it hits quite often, or find your state, whatever your state likes. But that high odd, I know that's coming back here. That's coming back, especially it's yellow. And if it goes yellow over here at like that, I say like the 1 week area roughly. Let me go back to Minnesota. 1 week. Hey, it's been out. That's going to come back. That's going to be hitting probably any day now. I mean, look, you go out to 2 weeks. Is it still there? No. It hit one time in 2 weeks. Okay, let's go out to 8 weeks. Hit 11 times. Look at the difference in that. That's going to come back like crazy. So I say that's a great pool to start with for Minnesota. All right. So if you think that's going to hit, go ahead and just go to reduced, copy that. You got a pool, just like I did with the V-Tracks. Or if you think you want to go straight, hit numbers options, 210 numbers straight. There you go, straight. Now, guess what? Guess what's due right now in Minnesota? 6 is due on the front. 6 is super due on the front. There you go. High odd hits tomorrow. 6 also hits. Has to be one of these. It would have to be one of these, guaranteed. Now, that's a pool. That's an awesome pool. And I was pretty excited to share that. And then here's another thing you can do. Man, I got a lot of tabs open. And I actually got rid of some. But go over here to the AC. Now we're looking at the SBPP, right? We're looking at the pair pattern. Okay, these 3 columns are the pair patterns. This is this right here. We were just looking at the SB right here, but now we're looking at this. Now you'll notice you can go off of this and say, okay, pink hasn't hit, but at the same time, pink might not hit again for a while, but there's some gaps in there. So I'm trying to get a little bit more strategic in picking these. First of all, I'll say for Minnesota, in the AB column, pattern 1 and pattern 9 are the top ones. And then I think 8 and 2 are the more recent ones that are starting to hit more. So, but across the board, 1 and 9 do not stay out long. Okay. Like for real, don't stay out long. And look at this. 1 is way down here. Where's 9? Did I miss it? Way down here. That's going to come back 100%. I mean, just look at 1, 1, 9, 9, 1, 9, 1, 1. You can find out what your state likes by just writing them down when you go through the frequency charts from 8-year all the way down like a month, So 1 or 9 will probably be coming back soon. So that alone is a pool. That's, you know what? If you think it's going to be 1, if you think it's going to be pattern 1 on the AB, you realize that is only 60 numbers straight, because this is boxed right here, but that's only 60 numbers straight. And if you do, obviously 120 numbers if you pick both of the top ones, which one of those is going to be dropping soon. So that's a pool in itself. But that's not the pool I want to show you. I want to say this, that you can look at these single box pair patterns over here and look at the root sum right here. Remember, the root sum is also based on the pair pattern itself, not the actual draw number. And you're going to notice, look at this, high, 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 high. That's a pool. You think it's going to be a low tomorrow? Cool. Go with the low. 70 numbers to start, right? Or am I wrong on that? Let's see, because we're doing the AC only. But I don't think it matters because, let's see. So you're going to take this. Now you're going to go over to you're going to go over, not expectation, frequency chart. You're going to go to SBP, not the one we were just on, but this one. This is the pair patterns. You're going to keep it. No, we're not. We're going to keep it. We're going to go to AC. Okay. And then we're going to go to most recent draws. 1 week. We don't care about that. We are going to look at, actually, it doesn't even matter because we don't care. We're not looking at that right now. What we're looking at is, we know that the lows are out, right? Because it's been, is it showing you? Well, does it show 1 week? It should show both. Because look at the high and that was the AC, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, this is AC. So high, 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 high. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's been 6 draws since there's been a low. Now you can look at the end too, 2 evens, but I mean, if you start doing that, then you could probably do too much. I'd just say, I think it's going to be a low tomorrow on the AC. I mean, there's a gap right here you can see. So you think it's going to be that, you're going to play that as a pool. So you're just going to take the lows. So you're just going to go to reduce numbers by option, take the lows. So it's 102. How does that work? Because it's only connected. It's only taking the AC. So how does that? I don't think it's not 204 numbers. What am I doing wrong? Let me just do this one, see what happens. Because that shouldn't be like that. I mean, it is. I'm just saying. Yeah, 158. If you play the lows. If you play both lows. Why do I feel like that's wrong? I feel like that's wrong. Why do I feel like that's wrong? It's because it's AC. This is reduced numbers by options. Because if you go numbers by options, it's going to be 240 and 240, but it's not really that many numbers. So look at, these are straights. If you think it's going to be a low on the AC, let's do that. Let's see what that would do. Numbers. You don't have to do AC up in here because it collected the whole dang thing. So, okay. Drop it in there. Yeah, 480. So that's right, 480. Because see, if you look at it from over here, straight forward. I don't know what I'm thinking right now. Anyway, so that's the pool. You can start with 480 numbers straight, as opposed to just, if you delete that, that's a pool. But I was looking at the reduced though, because the reduced is, why is it reduced so high or so messed up? Because it's not. Why is the reduced showing 102 and 102? That doesn't make sense. 204 because, is it because there's, you got the low and the low even for the AC. What's the difference if I did the numbers? 102, 102. Why do I not? I don't know why it's not computing. And why is it that it is 158 when I drop it in here? So I'm just thinking out loud here. Anyway, so that is what it is. That's a pool. That's a good pool to start from. So I want to break this down for Minnesota now, but I'm tired and I just want to show different bases you can start from, different pools. If anything, for Minnesota tomorrow, I really like, sorry, I'm jumping all over. I really like a high odd coming in back, and I really like some form of a low on the AC. And if you look, the high odd, when it does drop, was my mic getting loud again? So I'm so distracted. It's just like this thing starts screaming in my ear like this, and it's like, I don't want it to be screaming in your ear. So I'm thinking high odd on the SBP, and I'm thinking a low over here on this. That alone is going to be huge because let's see, we got 480 to start off with, and then let's go over and collect the high odds again. Or did I do that already? Did I do that right here? I don't think I actually did that, did I? Can't be in the PB though. We gotta go over to the SBP, not the other one. And we're gonna do the root sum of that. We're gonna collect the high odd. We're gonna collect it in straight form. That's coming back. And if you think that's coming back, along with a low on the AC, without dinking around with too many different combinations or whatever, trying to remove too many things, let's see what this will give us. Drop in the high odd. It's 108 straights. Look at that. 108 straights to start with for Minnesota tomorrow. I like that. I think that's very, very doable too. I don't feel like I'm screwing around too much, removing too much doing that. I mean, I could include the V tracks too if I wanted to, but you know what? Maybe I won't. I'm not sure because then we're gonna if you mix, more pools, you can definitely do that. But what I'm thinking of doing is I would look at the keys that are due and pairs that are due, sums that are due. But I did notice one thing earlier right here. Look at this. Low odd, low odd, low odd. I'm willing to take that one out. So if you think that's going to, there's a bunch of high odds here. How many times is 3 odds hit in a row? 1, 2, 3 there. I'm willing to take it out. I'm going to say it's going to change to something else tomorrow. So let's get rid of the low. Let's get rid of low. Wrong one. Let's get rid of low root sum. Oh man. What am I freaking doing? I'm sorry. I seriously always have a goal to like keep these videos shorter. And I just sit here and zone out. It's probably because it's so late. Unselect roots 1 and 3. 74 straights for Minnesota tomorrow. Yeah, there we go. And also 6 is due on the front. Stupid 6, come on. Where are you? You've been out forever. I'm not saying isolate that completely, but I mean, there's a point when it will be definitely worth isolating because you can get a big win. Because look at that. 39, that's equal to, half of that for a 2-draw state. Oh, yeah. We're looking at 20 days here coming up. It's 20 days now, but I'm saying 20 days in a 2-draw state. That makes a huge difference. That's coming. That 6 isn't going to be lasting long, but I do got a feeling that it could be a 7 or a 0 on the front too coming up. So either way, I like this pool. Now I'm going to take these. I'm just going to take these because I don't think I did anything else, did I? These V-tracks, because one of these V-tracks is probably going to be dropping soon. Let me get the whole batch here. Let's take this whole batch. And then we're going to bring it over to the other one. But this one here I'm going to add in boxed so it doesn't screw up my straights. This will still pop it out straights now. You don't want to do that when you're doing pairs though, because then it will keep it in the AB or BC. There you go. With the V-tracks 36. Here's the 6s right there. Only 3 numbers. Could it possibly be tomorrow finally? Get that 6 and get that win. High odd on the SBP. A low odd or low even on the AC. And then one of these V-tracks. And then no low root sum. I think those are all very, very likely. Not likely. I shouldn't say likely, but very possible. And if that's the case, then $36 would get you 900 online. That'd be nice. So, I ain't playing all those numbers though. I don't care if I win or lose. I'm just gonna play probably those, and I'm gonna look around, see what else I can find too for Minnesota tomorrow if I get a little time. But there's a couple pools you can do instead of starting with 220 And then, of course, my old school times drawn. You can do all data. You can do 7 years. I mean, oh my gosh, the 7-year one, such a good pool. I mean, check this out. You go numbers. You're going to get away from all this. You can do boxed. You're going to do 7 years. Boom, 7 years. 7 years. And you go most recent draw by option and check it out. I've been watching this forever. 20. See that? 20 was due. 20 was for sure going to hit pretty quick because look at 20. I'm sorry, 8 years. 7 years is what I was thinking 20 was going to drop, but I actually like the 8 years because look at this. 20, 20, 20, 20. 20 does not stay out long. Gap right there. 20. But like I said, I would, when you get in on it, when it's a gap, when it's a gap of, 6, 7, 8, these are things you can write down. When you see that, then you can maybe jump in on that. Or if you don't like that pool, if it, you don't think that's a good one, and jump to a different pool. One of those other ones I said. I ain't ever starting with 220 numbers because you know what happens is you go over to the Lotto odds or you go over to the master number studio on this site and you sit there and filter and you filter and you filter and you get it down to like 85 and you're like, all right, filter some more. And then you roll 10 dice and you get 6, 7, 8 of them right, but then you lose. It happens way too often. Way too many of us just lose. And I'm not looking to win $37, once every week online. I want to convert. I want to get straights. You know what I mean? I want to get wins. I want to get real wins, get big wins. And I want to do the same thing for pick 4. But right now I got to focus on this pick 3 stuff. And like I said, my main focus is going to be Minnesota's front or back pair. I didn't even look at any of that today. And one of my favorite charts, like I've shown, is this one. This dew filter chart. You can look at, like I said, you can do straight, do 1%. I like that. Getting that AB if you want. See what's going on. See the states here. Something out. AB, Minnesota, we got Minnesota, not even in there. Dang it. Minnesota not in there. Well, let's look at, why am I looking at that? Who cares? I don't normally look at that because these can stay out forever. I'm trying to go to the key A. You build your own. See, this is what you do. Build your own. That don't show up. Maybe I can get that back pair. Nothing from Minnesota. Now you can. Here's Wisconsin. Know that 6, that B position. Why am I doing this? I don't mean to do the number. I meant to do like either curve line or you do even odd or you do high low, you do in and out or you do spike, stuff like that. So let's look at spike. Let's go over to look at nothing for B. Nothing. That speaks volumes. Nothing out under 1%. Look at this. Only one state right now out. 1%. That speaks so much. Spike's going to drop in Pennsylvania soon, midday. Like 100%. You can win so much money. If you can spend money, you can win a lot of money in Pennsylvania because that's the only state with it out. It's going to hit. I post a lot of these things. They hit. Was that both? Was that both days? That is just midday it's showing. So let's go to midday alone. Look at that. There you go. That's going to be switching over soon. Maybe wait another 2 or 3 draws. Maybe. I mean, look at the spike. Every state's a little different, but I think that's going to be hitting. That trough does not even play that long. Look at that. The spike is the one that normally drops like that. I would say, heck yeah. So you can definitely bank on something like this. This is how you can build a front pair or a back pair in Minnesota, and this is what I'm going to look for. You know, we can drop in the ins and outs and see what's going on too. Pennsylvania in and out. So that'll take another 1 or 2 numbers off. Definitely in's coming. In is coming to the A position. What is the A? You got the 7, you got the 5, you got the 6, you got the 4. There you go. You know, you got the 3. Yep, that's gonna be coming. And see, then you can possibly do the same thing with the spike. And you can see what is the spikes. It's a 7, it's the 5, it's the 6, it's a 4. You'll see some of them are missing. Like, looks like the 3 is not there. Okay. So the 3 is there. I can't remember what they were. I haven't wrote down. But anyway, this is what I'm going to do for Minnesota if I'm looking at trying to build that front or back pair. I really wanted to keep this video to one thing, and that is base or starting points or pools, or whatever you want to call it, to start with instead of the traditional 220 numbers. I think that's just stupid. I ain't starting with 220 numbers boxed pretty much ever again. You don't need to, you know. There's always something. There's always something showing something, you know. But I mean, one last thing. You go to this new chart, you can just jump around a state, or do the 1% thing like I just showed you, or just jump around states and find states that are like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or something like that. And you're like, oh, it's going to be a flip for sure. And you think it's going to flip? You just cut half the numbers down right away, and you know it's going to hit within probably a few draws. It's not going to stay out that long. It's just not. It's just balance. It's just balance. It's going to happen. I believe there's design and art and everything in the creation that God created, and everything, even in this, there's always balance. It's not like you're going to not see a yellow, you know, in one of these columns for, you know, long periods of time. There may be like this coming back. It's not going to stay out. Anyway, I got to go to bed. So hopefully this helps somebody in how to create smaller pools. Hopefully get a win tomorrow in Minnesota. If I see something else, I'll post it in the comments. So, all right, have a good Monday, good week.